all those listening to us from wherever you are, far and abroad. This is we are in the height of the carnival season in Trinidad and Tobago. Things have changed a lot. A lot of things have changed, and nonetheless, I'm here, and I'm here to do what we normally do on evenings: tell you, explain what is in the news, help you analyze the situation, politics, and take you through the next 2 hours or so. Those of you listening to us in your cars, going home and that kind of thing, you are free to chime in from time to time and giving us your part, your position on the issues that are before us. The song that was just playing last night, I think, came second in the Young King competition, and of course it is a song that I like. It reflects the mood of the people right now to a large extent, and it also asks some real questions. How do you feel? And you know, just listening to the song, listening to the lyrics, and listening to the people. Every day you see new things in the newspapers, new things in the news that, you know, ask you, you know, those questions. There's still the looming issue of the police shooting. There are some new information that was brought to light, and it is something that at some point in time, we know it is an issue that is in the news a lot, and an issue that is occupying the emotion and the time and, you know, everything of most people. A lot of people who have major concerns with policing and that kind of thing in Trinidad. So maybe at some point in time this evening we will discuss that, among other things. We will be going for a break shortly, and when we come back we will, you know, start with discussing some of the issues that are before us. As I said, it's carnival season now. There are a lot of things happening. I think I may be going to Sangigani tonight to look at the stick fighting competition semi-finals. That is something I haven't visited or seen in years, and I would like to see some bois tonight. So I think I'm going up there to just take in the stick fighting. But a lot of things is happening. A lot of things are happening in and around Port of Spain for Carnival. We have the Flavor of the Village, the Queen's Park Savannah, lots of activities, lots of good shows, food, everything. It's like a little carnival mall. It's really nice, and if you haven't been to it as yet, maybe you should take some time and try to visit it from about 7 in the night. It's really, really nice. So on the other side of the hour, we will be discussing some major issues.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and the joyous spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
Get ready for an explosive night of soca energy this carnival season. It's a massive one-night-only live concert in the Flavor Carnival Village at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, featuring the legendary Waterlord himself, the big man in the business. I want George! Trinidad on fire, fire, Tobago on fire, fire, Trinidad on fire, fire, the people want water. Celebrate Celebrating 35 years of pure soca power, IWER is bringing all the classics, the latest heat, unstoppable energy, and jump-up madness that will leave you feeling it in your bones. Come out early to secure your spot at this epic event presented by the National Carnival Commission. Gates open at 6 p.m. and admission is completely free. No tickets needed, just bring your vibes. Expect non-stop energy. Get ready to run and enjoy that signature IWER magic. For updates, check out www.ttcarnival365.com or follow at ttcarnival365 on Instagram and Facebook. IWER George, live in concert for one night only. Queen's Park, Savannah. Be there.
Attention all fetters. This is a classified report. Army Fed is now operating under new protocols. Your mission is to assemble at the Queen's Park, Savannah on Friday, February 6th at 2100 hours.
Army Feds!
Be prepared for live band,
the biggest artists of VIP section,
and walk with your coolers well topped up.
It's the safest set in TNT.
And we've deployed major support to aid in your requests for FFUN.
Sure, yes, sir.
We've dispatched some of your preferred team members already,
and some new recruits as well.
Remember, fetters, should you or any of your troops be caught red-handed, Army Fet will disavow any knowledge of your actions. Army Fet, attention! Get your tickets now. Physical tickets, cachet nationwide. Bobby's Bar Curep, Smiles Bar Curep, Fats International Arena, Lounge Fashion, Eastgate Mall, Bella Binella, Woodbrook, Toddlers to Teens, Mukarapa Road, Woodbrook, Richards, West Mall, Woodford Cafe, Price Plaza, Chaguanas, Larry's Fashion Labels, Sandy Grandy and Chaguanas, We Supermarket, Coquier and San Fernando, TT Lunch Kit, Palmy, San Fernando. Online at islandetickets.com. The Army Fed hotline is 687-6996.
Friday, February 6th.
Assemble for the biggest
and the safest Fet in TNT. Army Fet.
Soldiers at ease.
This week, the Review Tent continues home with Ladies' Night on Wednesday, 4th February. 2 persons on 1 ticket. Admission $350.
Then on Thursday, 5th and Friday, 6th February,
it's the Calypso Review Tent Stars on full display. Admission $200 with Sugar Aloes along with the Review Stars. Pink Panther, Skatey, Devon Steele, Singing Sonia, Michelle Henry, Mighty Diamond, Saint Nick, Nicole Grace, Maze, JD, Fire Tender, Sasha and Moses, Tempo,
Kurt Allen,
Nisa, Alana Sinette, Lackaman, Organizer,
Orlando Octave.
From Barbados, Mighty Gabby, your MCs, Marcus Batiste, Tommy Joseph, and the Chairman. Tickets at the Review 10 box office, SWWGU Hall. This is your opportunity to experience the Calypso Review Tent. For info, call 797-5850.
With lots of giveaways.
This is what Calypso is all about. Showtime, 8 p.m. each night.
On Carnival Thursday night, the country descends upon the Queen's Park Savannah for the biggest concert in Carnival.
I feel for woman and a woman and a woman and a rum and a woman and a woman and a rum and a woman and a woman and a woman and
Vibes with Boise X.
I got the innocent. All when I jump in with the friend. I got the innocent.
This year we say cheers to 10. 10 years of dreaming. 10 years of growth. 10 years of voice. Vibes with Boise X. The biggest names in soca will be a part of this special celebration. 10 years of Voice's life and career. Physical tickets at GT's West Mall and Trent City Mall. 5th Street Bar, Ariapita Avenue. 519 Restaurant C3 Center. Woodford Cafe, Chaguanas. Fairways, Tobago. And online at frontlineticketing.com. Sponsored by Digicel, The Security Zone, Guardian Media Limited, Stag, A Man's Beer, Hennessy, Coca-Cola, Royal Castle, Dasani, Monster Energy Drink. Vibes with Boise X.
Join me on Carnival Thursday.
Queen's Park, Savannah.
It's in Weave.
No man afraid, no stick man, no man afraid, no demand. The journey to becoming the king of the rock continues. Come feel the energy, chance, and witness the raw skill of stick fighting on Wednesday, February 4th from 7 p.m. All roads lead to Ojo Road Recreation Ground in Sandy Grandy. Come experience the passion and power as warriors clash in the National Stick Fighting Semi-Finals. Tickets are only $75. tickets. Get those tickets at the Grandstand Ticket Booth. Online at www.islandetickets.com. NCC office, Victoria Square in Port of Spain. Or you can also purchase tickets on site on the competition day. It's all going down. The National Stick Fighting Semifinals. Wednesday, February 4th from 7 p.m. Ojo Road, Recreation Ground in Sandy Grande. This event is brought to you by the National Carnival Commission and sponsored by Moccasin, Dasani, Forest Park Punch and Rum, Coca-Cola, Kaleidoscope, and Caribbean Airline. For more information, you can follow at NCCTT online or call 622-1670 for more information. Grande, get ready! The boy man ain't afraid of nobody!
It's Classic Russo's final week for 2026. This is your last chance to experience the best tent show for the carnival. This Tuesday 3rd and Wednesday 4th February at City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Both shows 8 p.m. with a massive special of 3 persons on 1 ticket for $200, featuring their highly rated cast of performers: All-Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Twiggy, Dr. Will B, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco offices, New City Mall. This is your last chance to experience the best tent show for the carnival. Classic Russo for Classic Kaisu.
Man, I went by the ATM to get some cash and the machine saying insufficient funds. I sure I have money in my account.
Boy, that happened to me already. Here what to do. Make a report to your bank. But if you're still not satisfied with how they're dealing with it, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman. Let me text you the number.
If you want to resolve a complaint with your bank, non-bank financial institution, or insurance company, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman at 800-4FSO or visit www.ofso.org.tt. We can help, and our services are free.
It's a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make it like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
The Lion brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Palori, fry, bake, roti, and doubles too, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion brand is the reason. When the Lion brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion brand.
What are you doing? Crunch Nival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood and we vein, we need KFC again and again. Time to crunch, time to crunch, time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now. What are you doing? KFC's time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunch Nival.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, take up, like rocket. It's a Crunch Nival with the baddest, booking it. Bada ding, bada boom. Make this, make room. The steam finger licking, it's a Crunch Nival. KFC, chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunch Nival at KFC.
Breakaway. Play away. 1, 2, 3, go. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away breakaway. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away breakaway. It's bacchanal in the play away breakaway. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away breakaway. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away breakaway. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
season. Come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion. Pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm saying that because most of you would have heard me just at the end of the last hour before we go to the ad. And of course, we are going to another ad shortly, but I wanted to just preempt the discussion that I am going to embark on this evening by saying that I would have read the article in the newspapers. I think it is the Express newspapers today, page 3, that where the mother of one of the victims of the police shooting almost 2 weeks ago had given an interview, and it is really, really telling. Those of you who would have read it, I would certainly like to hear what your comments are on it after this break. Because reading it is difficult to read it, one, and it kind of exemplifies what I have been thinking. So I would like to hear your thoughts on it when we come back, but clearly the nation will have a problem with this. So stay tuned when we come back from this break, the short break.
Clear the way and turn the volume up to the max. It's time for the Soca Pick of the Day, sponsored by NLCB.
Today's Bacchanal Day. Today's Bacchanal Day. Today's Bacchanal Day. Spirit wake, kiss the road again. Paint and powder, blessing to my skin. Rhythm calling, we answer it. When the drum beat top, we start transcending. Coming granny in the band, to the youth with flag in hand. Every step is a heartbeat plan. This is who we are, not just a jam. Tell them it's not temporary, carnival is sanctuary. The rhythm baptize me, soul and the music in control. Ever since the Father create we, the rhythm in we heart that we break free. So now we bust the gate. We going and rip up every stage. We come to show them who we is. Now it's the time to activate. is a part away. We put we are today.
That is your Soca Pick of the Day. Keep it locked right here for more of the biggest hits and the sweetest vibes, sponsored by NLCB.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, break away. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the Soca ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Yes, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, this is the Third Empires, and this show is coined in a cricket analogy where we use cricket we use the analogy of cricket to look at how the both parties are doing, how the government is batting, because the government is in the wicket in this show, and the opposition is fielding and bowling, of course. And you know, one of the things that, and what I'm about to say, is not in any way to criticize the government or to cast any aspersion on the government itself, but more the institutions of the state that also reflect on the attitude of the government and how the country is run. You know, over the last week and a half or so, a day haven't passed on the show where we haven't in some way spoken about the incident with the police shooting of the couple in Valsane. And all the public saw, well, most of the public saw, I don't know if anybody saw the police chase or the alleged police chase before, but what we saw was a car crashed, a man putting his hands out of the car, and the police opened fire on him. We didn't even know it had a female occupant in the car. After we found out that there was a female occupant, and there was a lot of things. The camera footage showed something, but there were other camera footage that showed the police approaching the car shortly after, and saying, put your hands up or whatever, as if a dead man could do that. And other things that the police appeared to have concealed. And I want to be responsible here this evening. So those of you listening can also chime in and let me hear your ideas. Now, so today I was reading an article on the Express. I think it's page 2 of the Express. And it had to do with the accounts given by the mother of the young lady that was in the victim, the lady who was the victim of the scene. And I learned something, or we learned something, and the public might be able to deduce what has happened. One of the things that I was very, very concerned about, I mean, I thought about this when I saw the video and when I heard that the lady was still alive. I was thinking, what if these people, I mean, you have nothing to defend what we saw in the camera. Yet the lady is in police custody. She is under police guard in the hospital, or was at the time. And I was just thinking, what if these people trying to kill this lady boy to stifle the evidence or information relative to this incident? That was just my thought, just thinking out loud. And I was just thinking that because when I listened to what the police was saying or not saying, and what the public was saying, and what I saw in the video clearly, I was thinking, I mean, what could they say? What could anybody be saying about as to the reason why these people were shot up like that? Nobody said that they saw any shootout on the highway coming down. No, I haven't heard anybody said anything like that, and the police haven't given any footage relative to that thus far. So, in reading this article by the Express, giving an account of what happened from the mother of the victim, a couple of key things, you know, was brought to light, came out. One is that the lady was not paralyzed as they would have indicated before in the first few days. The lady was at the hospital. They said she got shot at one of her arms and her upper back, close to her spine. This is what the mother is saying. I'm just talking from what I read in the newspapers. And she was under police guard, and she was not allowed to be, her mother was not allowed to see her. She was allowed, I think it's 15 minutes, by a compassionate officer and the doctor at some point in time. And her daughter was saying the line, we had no gun and that kind of thing. But what is interesting is that the lady was discharged and kept under police custody, kept in police custody wherever in the hospital. And then, some time after, she was found to be having breathing problems and was taken to another hospital where they discovered that she had broken ribs and lung damage and that kind of thing. Now, what is interesting is that this is on account of what the mother was saying, was that none of that was reported by the doctors before. Now, we know that they might be trying to change that now, but none of that was reported to the doctor before, by the doctors before. So, you know, I would like to, I don't know if I'm the only person thinking what I am thinking, but I'd like to hear what you think. And those of you who would have read the article, I'd like to hear what you thinking, because clearly, the police have to prefer a narrative. And they are saying that, they seem to be saying that the young lady was shooting at the police. The mother said that the girl probably don't even know what a gun looked like. Father has to hold one. And I find that to be very, very, very interesting. And, you know, when we heard about what happened after, with the police attempting to conceal information, the police seizing DVR and that kind of thing from persons who would have had footage of the incident, and then what you are hearing now, yeah, I mean, if it walked like a duck, it quacked like a duck, I can't remember, I think it was Montano that said that one time, then it has to be a duck. Something about this whole thing is wrong. And what this is doing, as the mother is saying, the mother of the young lady is saying, this incident is making her believe that, see, all police officers as criminals. All police officers as criminals with guns. And this is not me saying this. This is the lady saying this in the article. And she is saying, and so if that is happening, if that is how she feels, so you could imagine how the public, looking at how this whole story, how this is playing off in the public domain, how this narrative, what is happening here? I mean, what kind of confidence you could now have in the police service after seeing and hearing this? And this is not new. This has happened before, right? This has happened before. But this, to me, I mean, just reading the article make you feel sick. If you could critically think, just reading the article make you feel sick. So I'd like to hear what you have to say. Clearly, we have a lot to discuss today. I really wasn't planning to start with this, but this to me is really, 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 because we wasn't hearing anything before. And now, hearing this, I am really, really surprised. She said that a nurse came out and tell her that you need to read the article, right? It is really, really, really serious. If you've been listening and you are aware of the issue, let's have a discussion on it. The number to call is 342-0081 466-5391. Call me. Let's discuss it. Let's walk this thing through, because in the first place, as I've said time and time on this show for the last week or so, I find it very, very difficult to understand why a man with his two hands out of a car was actually shot at. So much so to pick up 19 shots. That's the first thing. Even if you was already on your way to shooting and you done pull the trigger and one went off, the man hand up. 19, something wrong, right? That's strike one. Then after that, there are video evidence that shows that it appears as though the police was trying to tamper with the evidence. It didn't make sense after I shoot up the car, I walk up to the car and say, put your hands up and all that kind of madness. And then they concealed the whole thing. Nobody was able to do it. What we hear now from what this lady reported in the newspapers is really, really, really disheartening. It is something that I would like to see the government themselves pay particular attention to, because this is going to erode confidence in a serious part of society, in a serious by a serious institution of society, one that is in charge of crime fighting by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Marcus.
Yeah.
Have a safe carnival. But that's probably real trouble, you know, Marcus.
It is.
Like they're going to,
it is.
Yeah,
it is. It
very
is.
sad.
It is.
We're
It
losing
is.
all confidence.
I mean, I read it. I read it, and I've been to the hospital in situations where I went to visit people under serious stress and that kind of thing. And, you know, I mean, just reading the article, I make me feel sick. It brings back so much memories of so many different things. But
I live in the hospital for 24 months. I did and come back and I went to the hospital, so I thank God for life.
Okay. How you in the hospital? You were shot at by the police?
Huh? Yeah. True, yeah. That's police, but family shoot and thing now.
Oh, okay.
Not to talk about, but I hear a car, so what everybody in winner. Because I, as a man, support this government, and I see what they said the last regime was wicked and vindictive, but I see natural wickedness.
No, well, I will have pretext the beginning of the show by saying that I am not necessarily casting any aspersion on the government, because you have separation of powers. You have the state, and you have institutions of the state, and the police is one of them. Police are one of them.
I know you're talking about incidents with the police and with the government. But how I tell the government, they see Roger Alexander, you still out of police because they was there in the cloth. He's a government minister now, to the people and them work. Because we know you have fruit hanging over your head. We know what kind of police officer he was there, for much years he still work there. Marcusson, I'm what I say, no, and that's waiting and watching, because as a man toil and fight and support his party, and it has certain ministers that are reaching out to them and no kind of opportunities. Like I use thing now. Because they're calling people and putting them and getting them work and all them kind of thing, and I carry resume, knocking on doors and no opportunities. Like a certain problem. Are you watching it now? Yes.
Alright, KFC. Thanks for calling. Yeah. So I was saying that the erosion of confidence in a critical element of the national security apparatus should be of importance, should be something that requires critical review by the state, by the government. And no amount of, I don't know what you could say right now, except to say that you're bringing some international investigators or whoever, forensic investigator, to investigate this matter, providing that the lady stay alive. But clearly, something is afoot here, and it can't be right. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Mato.
Good evening.
And to all your listeners out there.
Yeah.
But what I have to say is this is a very, very troubling situation here, you know. Because I would assume that I would have done the relevant x-rays and stuff to find out, you know, if this young lady had any
CT scan and thing, and I think that was done. She said that the mother said that was done, and that didn't show up no broken ribs and no long damage and all that kind of thing.
Well, it fails me to understand how they went to another hospital
after she was discharged. After she was discharged and kept in police custody at the hospital, something seemed to have happened some days after. And then they discover that she has broken ribs and that kind of thing. That seems to be strange.
That is very telling, very, very strange. And I would say, Mr. Matheson, that young lady is not safe, you know.
I don't feel she is.
I would advise that they try to get her out of the country.
But I think the politicians have to get involved now.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a fact.
I think the politicians have to get involved now. Because she spoke to her mother. She said nothing like that happened. She said she had no gun. There was no gun. She said the police is lying.
I honestly don't know where our police is going, you know. I really don't know why. But, you know, the most
my concern in all of this, to maintain law and order, we need policing. We need policing.
Exactly.
But if there's a breakdown of confidence to the level that it has reached, then that is critical. We could have anarchy. That's a serious thing. You don't want to reach that.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying the government has to do something at this time.
Yeah, I find it real. They're pussyfooting on that right now, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me give somebody else a chance.
Okay, thank you, caller. Yeah. Thank you, caller. Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening.
Good evening to you and everyone.
Good evening.
Is it live? I'm live.
Yes, you are. You are. You are. I'm hearing you loud and clear, and I think listeners are hearing you also.
Well, what I want to say, any lawman, any righteous lawman that have the righteous testicle and know that is guilty lawmen who do that, it's to place him under arrest. Whether they corporal, sergeant, or whatever.
But I think here what happened right now. I think what I'm seeing here.
Some righteous testicles. I don't think we should need foreign. It needs some serious lawmen, some law-abiding lawmen.
Well, if we don't trust,
to come out and do the right thing.
If there is no trust and nobody feels so, then if there is no trust and no one feels so, then to say the police service and trying to be good, then we may have to get foreigners to come and do it. Listen, let me say this.
Yes, I agree with that too.
Let me say this. If we have that kind of breakdown, that kind of degradation so quickly, right? Because things are we in a free fall now with respect to confidence in the police, with respect to this incident.
Yeah.
What you can easily have, what I don't want to say the government, but what the commissioner of police and the authorities are doing is that they are putting all other police officers at risk. Good ones and bad ones. That's what they're doing. Because what you could easily have is anarchy in a situation like this.
But the good ones have to come out and open it.
But they are good ones. They are good ones. The lady said that
the good ones who know, the good ones who know, if they have to shine, they're supposed to shine.
The lady said that there was an officer who broke down in tears in the hospital at Rose Garden.
Well, again, you shouldn't be in tears only if you have information or nothing. Speak up, open your mouth.
I mean, just reading the article, I feel it's something I write, boy. Something wrong here, boy.
I didn't even read. I only hear about it, and I completely no. That is supposed. I mean to say, they're supposed to use everything that they can to get to the bottom of it. Whether foreign, whoever.
It shouldn't be too hard. Listen, if the lady, if they say, as they seem to be suggesting, the lady was shooting at them, how come, why they didn't swab her? Well, they probably did that. And we can't trust that either, because there's no independence, no independent person who would have been there. But the thing is,
where she was shooting at her, she hammered her head through the window.
Well, all of that.
Through the glass.
So you wasn't shooting. So you wasn't shooting. The police wasn't shooting back at the time. Oh, you know the thing is,
listen. So he's driving and she stretched out her hand in the back.
Yeah,
something on the side.
Something wrong, boy. Something wrong with this whole.
Listen, man, come on.
All kind of madness with
this. They
this.
have to stop and feel. What they really feel people in the go dumb or something.
Well, boy, I don't know, but
they really feel they're the only intellectual people on this earth here listening worldwide. What's wrong to them?
This crazy.
Get serious, man. Get serious, man. Stop that, man. Get serious, man. Just listen. Look.
But anyway, we're going for.
Sorry, I wasn't a police on that guy.
We're going for an LCB break.
You don't have to come and to shoot down my house.
And we will come again on the next.
Road March Energy? Check. Royal Castle flavor? Double check. Let's dive into the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
was the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Yes, listeners and callers, we are back. And of course, you can call me on 3420081 or 466-5391. I am certainly discussing this evening the newspaper article where the mother of Celie, the young lady that was shot with her boyfriend a little over a week ago, gave her narrative of her experience at the hospital and trying to see her daughter, and also what the police seems to be saying. Very interesting, very, very interesting. After reading this article, it is telling. I don't know if you would have read the article, but you know, the lady said that after going a couple times trying to see her daughter, she was invited in a room to talk to a doctor. A standing guard was a police officer outside, and the police officer asked her who she was told. The police officer was told that she is the mother of her daughter, and the doctors told her that they saw no spinal injuries or no sign of anything. They didn't know what was causing the paralysis. When she came out, a nurse pulled her aside and said, they are trying to say that your daughter shot at them, but your daughter keep crying out saying that they are lying. We had no gun and nobody shot at them. Now, this is a lady who is who is in the hospital, who is certainly still under police guard, I was told, and who is a victim of a police shooting. The report said that she was shot in her arm and in her upper back. Sometime later, after she was discharged, but still remained under police guard, she started to have, I don't know if it's convulsions or whatever, and she was taken to another institution where they did a CT scan, and they saw that she had broken ribs and, you know, a number of other things that wasn't consistent with what the doctors would have told the mother before. That, to me, is interesting. Good evening, caller.
Mr. Matterson, good afternoon again.
Yes.
Something occurred to me a little while ago. Now, I'm trying to understand who were the doctors and nurses, or well, we are alleging here, who didn't give this information, well, at least suppress the information that this girl had that kind of damage.
But I don't know. It didn't say that. This is the mother talking to the newspapers, and it didn't say that it didn't say that anybody was suppressing any information. You know, sometimes you go to the hospital. I remember a situation years ago, and doctors or nurses will tell you things off the record, and sometimes they may even advise you maybe you should sue or whatever because what happened here was wrong. You know, that kind of thing. They tell you that happens all the time. But the thing is, this is a situation where if your loved one was shot, obviously in police guard, police custody kind of thing, but in the hospital, the police may not allow you to go in to see them, right? For all kind of reasons. Right. You might be coming to kill them, you might be coming to do something nefarious, you might be coming to get information that maybe not be correct or whatever. So it's understood that the police may not be, the persons are suspect in a crime, you may not get to go and talk to the person just like that.
Information.
Right.
Right.
But the challenge here is that there are snippets of things that are coming out, and it certainly isn't that enough. And that is fueling more concern by the public and more apathy and everything with regards to the police and confidence and that kind of thing. And I'm saying that you can't investigate yourself. Maybe we should get some kind of independent investigative unit outside of Trinidad and Tobago to walk this thing back through and investigate this thing properly, one, and two, do something to preserve this lady's life. Because it sounds to me like this lady's life might be at risk.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, good. Outside help, I think we need that.
Huh?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is...
outside help, I think we need that.
Yeah, and then the bigger thing with this is that the confidence of a major part of this national security apparatus, the first and the biggest part of it, which is the police, seems to be eroding. That confidence the public having them seems to be eroding with this and other things. Because everybody may have had a situation where they believe that they don't feel that the police have any sense, they don't feel that the police is fair, they don't feel that the police, some of them will see the police as criminals also.
That makes no sense.
Right. So clearly, this is where I would say now that the government should step in and make a pronouncement on this and make a decision as to where this thing should go, because so many people can't be saying the same thing.
Exactly, I agree. All right, well, thanks very much. Somebody else has a chance. Afterthought.
Yeah, thanks, caller.
Okay.
So my thesis is here this evening is that what we obviously need in Trinidad and Tobago is a fair system. A system where people will feel that they have confidence in the person they call in for assistance when they call in. And I'm saying that there are a lot of very good police officers who will do anything to assist, who will do anything to help and do their jobs correctly, right? And in the best interest of the public. But there are few of them that are creating problems in the society. Just like some of the criminals, that there are some criminals that are creating problems in society, there are some officers that are creating problems, and the government needs to step in and put certain things in place to fix that. And I would agree with anybody who say that we should probably, the commissioner of police, maybe we need to check he out, because something don't seem to be right here. Something don't seem to be right here. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening and you would have read the article, or you would have heard my narrative this evening, feel free, call me and let's discuss it. Let me hear what you have to say. And you don't necessarily have to agree with me. You may have a different position. You may have a position that is different from, see things differently. I'd like to hear what you have to say. If you're a police officer and you feel you need to call in and chime in on what you feel or what you see from your side, or what could have possibly happened, feel free to call the station and let's have that kind of discussion. But clearly, what we would try to be good of observe from looking at the video and what we are now reading in newspapers, things not necessarily adding up. And that is not a good thing, right? I would say again, and I want to always pretext what I have to say by saying that this would have happened several times before. It has everything to do with government and governance. It has everything to do with government and governance, because at the end of the day, the government in charge is the government that could put certain things in place to legislate certain things to provide that safe situation for citizens or for the majority. But this has happened under previous governments or previous government, and the situation seems to remain the same. And we don't want a situation where the state or the government, that is the executive, have the hand in directing or dictating what the police do and how they do it and that kind of thing. So it's not like we're blaming the government per se. But clearly the government has to intervene in fixing the police service. The tail don't wag the dog. The dog had to wag the tail. So the police is not a law unto themselves. The government has to do what they have to do to instruct or to get the police to do what they need to do for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And clearly, I have no trust in this investigation, and I have, if what the nurse was saying is the truth, I have no trust in that investigation. And clearly, from what I saw on camera and what everybody saw after, clearly there seems to be a problem. One can only deduce that. So call me if you are listening. Don't be afraid. Call me and let me hear what you have to say, because something ain't right. And you know me, I say it as it is. If you know me well, you'll know that, hey, I said I ain't defending nothing that was wrong. And clearly what I saw and what all of you saw, something wrong here. And now we are seeing that a lady life outside of the gunshot wounds and that kind of thing seems to be at risk. Good evening, caller.
Yes, again, I am here. All I have to say, under the watchful eyes of the law-abiding officers, if all you know something, say something. With all your colleagues. But don't let them sink the whole ship.
Yeah, because the whole ship will get sink.
Don't let them sink the whole ship, because the corrupted one, they say one bad apple spoil the whole bunch. But the few good apples that they have there, please, don't let them sink it. Under your watchful eyes and the watchful eyes of Tobago, please.
Correct.
Come out and say something. And so, just like how they all tell the public, all you want the public see something, say something. If all you know something,
say something.
Under all the watchful eyes, partner, listen. Let them know one time. We don't want that.
Correct.
We don't need that.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, caller.
I remember the first time I heard a story here. The police was running down 3 men in a car. And they shoot up the car with the men and the muzzle. I feel like them getting wrong, cab. That was the wrong, and they just don't know what to do from there now, boy. It's only after a while. I get to find out. Yeah, man, both man, I want to know where that coming from.
Yeah.
So, nobody don't trust the police service anymore, right?
And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because they are the ones we had to trust.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
In a civilized society with law and order, hops and
we now have to watch we back it up.
Yeah. So it's like we are against them now.
If you notice now, like the service, it's settled along now, and like nobody can come out and say nothing. They're afraid to have a roadblock. Like it's like every single thing just switch up in this incident about it. Watch how it's going now.
No,
it's only lies, boy. It's only lies.
Yeah, lies. And the thing is, what I'm saying, sir, listen to me. What I'm saying also is that what's happening here, you're putting other innocent police officers at risk.
Innocent police, and I have family who is police.
You putting innocent police at risk.
Police and then they're making them look stupid. They're making them look stupid because Nobody can talk and say nothing. Nobody can say, not even you can ask my uncle about that. You can stand up and watch and tell him, boy, it's an investigation. Nobody can talk.
What investigation? Come now, man, all you.
There's not even everybody see what's going on.
This crazy. You read the article?
Yeah, well, I know hearing about it. I know listening to it.
If you read the article, brother, tears will come to your eye.
But that lady, that young girl had a height. Foreign police had to come and guard that young
That's
girl.
why he's saying, bring the British.
Bring some people. And this is a situation for Trinidad court to deal with. A foreign court to deal with this matter.
This is just this criminal, boy. I mean, anybody seeing this or reading this, you know what's going on here. Just your sixth sense telling you something wrong here.
Something. Then you look at everything. Listen more.
Yeah,
give me more information.
Yeah. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going for a break again. We are at the top of the hour, and certainly, when we come back, we will continue with this and another topic. And I want to hear your views. I want to hear what you have to say, because you are the ones who have to face the police, just like me. We have to face the police. We're looking for police assistance. We're looking for help on the road. We're looking for help when somebody breaks into our house. We want to be able to feel confident that we could call the police, that we believe in the police, that the police will be there to assist us, protect and serve us as they indicate as part of their mantra and logo. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of the hour, join us again where we will continue this and other discussions.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Boy, I got in an accident a while ago. I was in traffic and my car get bounced from behind.
Well, then they're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, the insurance company go fix it up.
Fix up? Huh? I make my claim the next day. And up to now, I can't hear from the insurance company. I need my car fixed.
Look, you better go to the Financial Services Ombudsman. I'm sure they can help.
Yeah, I'm going to check them now.
To resolve a complaint with your insurance company, bank, or non-bank financial institution, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman at 800-4FSO or visit www.ofso.org.tt. We can help, and our services are free.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and enjoy a spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
Get ready for an explosive night of soca energy this carnival season. It's a massive one-night-only live concert in the Flavor Carnival Village at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, featuring the legendary Waterlord himself, the big man in the business, IWER George. If Trinidad on fire, fire, soca go on fire, fire, Trinidad on fire, fire, the people want water. Celebrating 35 years of pure soca power, IWER is bringing all the classics, the latest heat, unstoppable energy, and jump-up madness that will leave you feeling it in your bones. Come out early to secure your spot at this epic event presented by the National Carnival Commission. Gates open at 6 p.m. and admission is completely free. No tickets needed, just bring your vibes. Expect non-stop energy. Get ready to run and enjoy that signature IWER magic. For updates, check out www.ttcarnival365.com or follow at ttcarnival365 on Instagram and Facebook. IWER George, live in concert for one night only. Queen's Park Savannah. Be there.
On Carnival Thursday night, the country descends upon the Queen's Park Savannah for the biggest concert in Carnival.
I feel for woman and woman and woman and rum and woman and woman and rum and woman and woman and woman and
Vibes with Voicey X.
I got the air, all when I jump in with the friends. I got the air,
This year, we say cheers to 10. 10 years of dreaming. 10 years of growth. 10 years of voice. Vibes with Voicey X. The biggest names in soca will be a part of this special celebration. 10 years of Voices life and career. Physical tickets at GT's West Mall entrance City Mall. 5th Street Bar, Ariapita Avenue. 519 Restaurant C3 Center. Woodford Cafe, Chagonis. Fairways, Tobago. And online at frontlineticketing.com. Sponsored by Digicel, The Security Zone, Guardian Media Limited, Stag, A Man's Beer, Hennessy, Coca-Cola, Royal Castle, Dasani, Monster Energy Drink. Vibes with Voicey X.
Join me on Carnival Thursday.
Queen's Park, Savannah.
It's in we
Attention all fetters. This is a classified report. Army Fed is now operating under new protocols. Your mission is to assemble at the Queen's Park Savannah on Friday, February 6th at 2100 hours. Army Feds! Be prepared for live band,
the biggest artists of VIP section,
and walk with your coolers well topped up.
It's the safest set in TNT.
And we've deployed major support to aid in your requests for FFUN.
Sure, yes, sir.
We've dispatched some of your preferred team members already.
And some new recruits as well.
Remember, fetters, should you or any of your troops be caught red-handed, Army Fet will disavow any knowledge of your actions. Army Fet, attention! Get your tickets now. Physical tickets, cachet nationwide. Bobby's Bar Curep, Smiles Bar Curep, Bats International Arena, Lounge Fashion, Eastgate Mall, Bella Binella, Woodbrook, Toddlers to Teens, Mukarapa Road, Woodbrook, Richards, West Mall, Woodford Cafe, Price Plaza, Chaguanas, Larry's Fashion Labels, Sandy Grandy and Chaguanas, We Supermarket, Coquier and San Fernando, TT Lunch Kit, Palmy, San Fernando. Online at islandetickets.com. The Army Fed hotline is 687-6996.
Friday, February 6th.
Assemble for the biggest
and the safest Fet in TNT. Army Fet.
Soldiers at ease.
Boy, I ain't brass playing in my head whole morning, you know.
That is not brass, that is hunger.
Nah, that is brass bacchanal calling all you.
Brass bacchanal? Wait, that is the ones where all them bands and them just show off with their music?
Show off is a showdown of sound.
This Carnival Monday night, get ready for Brass Bacchanal 2026. 9 of the baddest brass bands go head to head, competing for $100,000. Monday, February 16th, Queen's Park, Savannah. Showtime, 9 p.m. sharp. Tickets are only $150. Available at Java Nation stores nationwide, the NCC box office, and online at islandetickets.com. Bring your crew, bring your coolers, and feel the power of live brass like never before. Get ready. Brass Bacchanal Carnival Monday night. Presented by the National Carnival Commission.
No man afraid, no stick man, no man afraid, no demand.
The journey to becoming the king of the rock continues. Come feel the energy, chance, and witness the raw skill of stick fighting on Wednesday, February 4th from 7 p.m. All roads lead to Ojo Road Recreation Ground in Sandy Grandy. Come experience the passion and power as warriors clash in the National Stick Fighting Semi-Finals. Tickets are only $75. Get those tickets at the Grandstand Ticket Booth, online at www.islandetickets.com, NCC office, Victoria Square in Port of Spain. Or you can also purchase tickets on site on the competition day. It's all going down. The National Stick Fighting Semi-Finals, Wednesday, February 4th from 7 p.m. Ojo Road Recreation Ground in Sandy Grandy. This event is brought to you by the National Carnival Commission and sponsored by Moccasin, Dasani, Forest Park Punch and Rum, Coca-Cola, Kaleidoscope, and Caribbean Airline. For more information, you can follow at NCCTT online or call 622-1670 for more information. Grandy, get ready! The Bois ain't afraid of nobody!
It's
Classic Russo's final week for 2026. This is your last chance to experience the best tent show for the carnival. This Tuesday 3rd and Wednesday 4th February at City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Both shows 8 p.m. with a massive special of 3 persons on 1 ticket for $200, featuring their highly rated cast of performers: All-Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Twiggy, Dr. Will B, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco Offices, New City Mall. This is your last chance to experience the best tent show for the carnival. Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso.
There's some advice when you hear it, you know one time is good advice. My granny tell me a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea first thing in the morning does wonders for the body. Good and natural ginger tea in its single-size packets is excellent for flavoring your cooking, salads and desserts. But what was news for me is when my granny say a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea helps with nasal congestion and colds, stomach problems, migraine headaches, and it's really good for arthritis in the body. Made from freshly crushed ginger root to get that strong ginger taste and aroma so soothing. Good and natural ginger tea available with or without sugar, so all you need is boiling water to get a cup going. As the old people say, don't take flambeau to see the night what you could see clear in the day. Good and natural ginger tea. Good advice to start your day right.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
The Lion brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori fry, baked roti and doubles too, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion brand is the reason. When the Lion brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion brand.
What are you doing? Crunchnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood in we vein, we need KFC again and again. Time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now. KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchnival.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, take off, like rocket. It's a Crunchnival with the baddest booking it. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunchnival with KFC. Chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunchnival at KFC.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, 3, go. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away.
It's Bacchanal in the Playway Breakaway. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger Playway prizes this carnival.
It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away.
Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion, pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, I am back today. I am in the studio alone today, and usually it would either be, this is the third umpires, and it sometimes would be 1, 2, or 3 of us together, or 3 persons together having some discussions on whatever issues we are talking about. Today I am here alone, and sometimes that happens. Right? This is a different time. We are very, very busy in the day, and sometimes things spill over outside of the time we allotted to do it. So we are unable to appear on the radio as you expect. But in the last hour, we were discussing an issue that has been in the news for the past 2 weeks, and I don't want to belabor the point too much, because I want to really go on to our next topic, something that has concerned me over the last few days, and I really wanted to talk about it. But I wanted to end the narrative you were having earlier on by saying that the government of Trinidad and Tobago need to arrest this situation. And this situation meaning the police. We must have some adults in the room that would have looked at everything, listened to everything that has happened so far, and say, let's make a decision on where we're going and what we're doing. And this situation, maybe we need international help. Clearly, the government in office right now, they would have done a good job to save about 250-something people last year, and those 250-something, out of those 250-something people could have been your family, your brothers, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, whatever. So the murder rate certainly went down to some extent. But some would say that it had to do with the fact that it was a state emergency, and the police had a different kind of powers to be able to arrest certain things. I believe that there are other things that could be done. Let me take this call. Good afternoon, Stephanie.
Hi, darling. How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Same to you. How are you?
I did it.
Nice.
What's up with you?
Good, good, good. I'm here just doing the people's business.
I hear you. Big man, fix your business. Gotta fix your mix.
Yeah.
By chance, would you be getting any tickets to go to the Fiesta?
The Fiesta go where?
Fiesta.
No, I don't know. I don't know if the other, maybe I'll ask the producer. I don't know if the other, but what I have is a pass to go any NCC event, but I don't get tickets per se. I don't know if they have tickets given away here. Maybe you can check earlier in the day. And yeah, but I don't have any. But I will ask the producer. I'll ask the producer after the show. Certainly he's listening.
Please, beg him for at least one or two, please.
I will. And I'll remember you call me around this time tomorrow. I'll let you know if I got through to any. And I'm sure he's listening.
Tell him 20 strong, good-looking people. Please.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
That's one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was saying that, I think we've reached the point where, listen, I understand the position the government is in right now, clearly, and governments has been in for some time with crime. And the police, the handicap that we have, some would say is the police, some would say is the system. I saw where the Commissioner of Police indicated that we have a very robust procurement system, and the reason why we don't have body cam is not because they don't want to, but the procurement system has a lot of restriction and they are unable to do certain things. I think there are provisions in that same procurement system too, and I know that for a fact because where I sit, we did certain things and which was for national interests, and the procurement system did work. So there are provisions in the procurement system, especially for in a situation like this, for you to get body cams. The kind of excuses I'm hearing, it doesn't make sense, right? So I would believe anybody who say that the police didn't want to wear them, and for good reasons. But anyway, enough said about that. I think that the police, the government, need to step in. They have, in my opinion, they have done well so far in arresting the murder rate, and to a large extent, some would say that they were able to do so with the help of the state of emergency, but that is no longer in place. So something needs to be done. The opposition also need to be understanding and understand that, listen, high murder rate wouldn't help nobody. So if you don't want to support it, it's not going to help you, right? It might do worse for you because some of your family or somebody close to you or you might lose your life too. So all you come together and do what all you have to do to fix this thing, because this thing ain't going to end well, especially where it has become. It is now going to the other side now. People are losing confidence rapidly. It is now happening. It is now, the loss of confidence is now exponential. And that is not good. That is chaos. That is anarchy. That is not good for you at all. And when good people start losing confidence, good people, good citizens start losing confidence, when bad things happen to you, you may not get the sympathy of good people. So you need to take in front before in front take you, and do what you need to do to restore that confidence we need to have in the police service. That is important, and I thought that I needed to say that, because some of you listening here may be saying that, listen, you're sounding like you're criticizing the government or whatever. No, I think critically, and when I see something happening that is wrong or needs some kind of intervention, I will certainly say it. Nothing would stop me from saying it. So that is my position on this issue. If you still want to call and 342-0081 or 466-5391 to say your part on this, I will still entertain your calls. But I wanted to talk a little bit about something that as you know, this program is hosted by 3 professionals. We are professionals in human resource management. We are professionals in employment law, and we are also professionals in USH and all the other derivatives of human resource management or human capital management. So as consultants, I could say for me, myself, I advise, or I am retained by both trade unions and employers, both sides of the table, and to some extent government. And I see sometimes, I understand the thing from both sides. I understand why things happen, and I understand what are the challenges in the system. And I know the government for sure is making some great strides in addressing the Industrial Relations Act, and that is important. That is very important to address that. There are major deficiencies in that act that has to be dealt with in ways that depending on what side you're on, you would understand why it is so critical that the Industrial Relations Act is addressed. It would, to a large extent, promote things like productivity and harmony and industrial peace and all that. And that is very necessary and important. I want to say something. There are really no textbook, except the one that I am authoring right now. But there are really little or no textbook that tells you everything that you need to do to solve a problem or to arrest a situation before it becomes a dispute or before you end up spending millions of dollars in the court to deal with it. Now, I represent clients on both sides at the court almost weekly, right? And so I understand this, and I've been doing this for quite some time. So I understand some of the challenges employers have. I understand some of the challenges trade unions have or workers may have from time to time. And today, I had a client call me, and we were having a discussion because they were having a problem and they wanted to separate with an employee. I'm not going to call the client name, and they wanted to separate with an employee. And they were giving me a narrative. They were saying that this employee it's about time they send this employee home. This employee was very bad, very coercive in the workplace, causing all kind of problems, probably even removing things from the workplace, very, very coercive, and threatening them that if they do certain things, she will take them to court and all that kind of thing. And so then I started checking on the situation, and I saw where the company would have done certain things for the employee. They said that they always try to be nice to the employee. They always try to see how best they can assist the employee. They always try to, at some point in time, the work had become redundant, and they give her a contract, which when I look at the contract, it was a good contract. They give her a contract as an independent contractor to just come in and do some work in the day and that kind of thing and leave. And they weren't paying her NIS and all that kind of thing. So there were no controls. So it was a good contract in terms of what they wanted to do. But they said even with that they had problems, and the problems now with the person, I can't say worker again, but the problems now stemmed with the person wanting to injure other people and cause different kind of problems in the workplace. And I was asking about, well, what did you do? What have you been doing? I mean, if you're telling me all this now, which is something strange, all employers just tell you. We want to get rid of this employee, and this employee have been doing XYZ, but they have no paper trail to show what the employee have been doing, when they did it, and when you ask them, they say, well, boy, I was just trying to, I didn't want to behave as though, I'm a wicked employer. I wanted to really help this worker. I was trying to help her. I was trying to, but this worker just wasn't changing. So one of the things we have in our toolkit as HR professionals would be a performance management system. And we know in performance management system, one of the derivatives of performance management would be performance appraisals. So but that's just one of the tools in performance management that you can use to, to manage performance. There are many other tools. You have coaching, you have mentorship, there are a lot of other things you can do. And this employer was saying that, listen, so I was asking them, well, why you having all these problems and now you want to send home this person and you have no evidence of anything? And they said, well, we even I asked them, well, when this worker starts working? They said, well, she started working, and they give me the date. And then when I pulled the worker file, I saw a job letter where they give the worker, even when she turned an independent contractor, they give her a job letter saying that she working more years than she was actually, their NIS records are showing. And I said, but this is real, because this is what most employers trying to be nice to workers sometimes do, and it comes back to bite them. Because all these things that I've just told you, first you're not measuring the performance, first you're not writing them, you're not administering any coaching, any mentorship, any serious advisory, any talking, anything that you could have to show that you recorded a discussion. And one of the things that in performance management, there are several biases in performance appraisals. And one of the biases that is most prominent would be sometimes a supervisor, for fear of reprisal or for fear of the worker turning on them or having a problem with them, they would just give them a straight 5 or a 4, a good appraisal. So when you go to the court with that, or when you come up against a worker in the court with all of those things, so you have a job letter saying that you're working 10 years when you was only working really 5 years, but the employer really tried to help you to get to show that might have even doctored your pay slip to show that you was working with them and to show that you to assist with getting the loan. And you know that worker have that pay slip and they have that false job letter. They know it's false and they know they know the purpose for which they got it. But they're holding it for a time when they will need it most. They know that they were a bad employee, they were coming late, they were sometimes missing work all the time, they were cussing up the employer, they were doing all kind of things, but they were never written for it. No reprimand was ever taken against the worker. When you do that at your own detriment, employers. You do that at your own detriment because one of the first things that you would put on evidence and argument as a trade union is the worker's name, the address, how long they were working, what they was doing, and the fact that they had an unblemished record. How you measure that, how you come to that conclusion that they had an unblemished record? By the fact that they have no HR, nothing on HR records that show that this worker was ever reprimanded for anything, that this worker have a bad performance. They put all the performance appraisal on all of them, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. That is bad management of your human capital. Whether I like you, whether your child godfather, whether what, you need to say exactly what, in managing performance, you need to say exactly what the scores according to the behavior or the performance of the worker is. If you do not do that, you're putting yourself as the employer at risk. You could be who, and you need a job letter. You need a job letter saying, you get a job letter saying exactly what you do, how long you have been working, and the nature of your contract. That will help you, that will help the bank, and that will help the worker down the road. So when I come to you and I ask you to see the employee's file, and I see all these nice things in the employee file, and then you tell me that this employee has been such a bad employee and such have an unblemished record, but you want that employee fired, I'll tell you no, you can't do that. I'll tell you no, you cannot do that. And the reason why I'll tell you no, you can't do that, because if you do it, you can end up in a dispute where you will certainly lose. Most certainly lose, because the court goes by records. And if you have the paper, worse yet, the worker having the evidence to show that there was a good employee, they have a good appraisal, only 5s or 4s, they have a job letter saying they're working for plenty more than he was actually paying them, because you wanted to help them to get a loan, a mortgage, or for HGC or whatever, then you're in trouble. Because now, you will not only lose the matter, but you will have to pay that worker for all the years according to the pay slip or the job letter that the worker have in the hand. And I'm saying this because I see this all the time. And this is a concern. And listen, I was saying that except for the book that I'm currently authoring, but the thing is, there are really textbook, you could write, no textbook could tell you every shoe. So every one foot, one, what I want to say, one shoe, one size doesn't fit all. So every situation in the workplace might be different. In some way, you can't just read a textbook and say, well, we are treated like this. Because the situation might be different. And you'll get a different advice for every different kind of situation. Which is why the most important thing, sometimes the candle is cost more than the funeral. Sometimes you call an employer call you. And when you tell them your rate, they say, no, we can't pay that. But good thing don't come cheap. And sometimes you have to eat the pepper now. Because if you try to eat it later, you had to eat plenty and to burn you somewhere else. So, employers, a good advice is when you start having these kind of problems, if you don't have professional HR in your workplace, or you don't trust them, or you don't understand what they're doing, call a professional. Don't call any lawyer. Call a lawyer who is versed or who has been practicing employment law and who understand all the principles, especially one who understands HR also. My number is 382-4208. Feel free to call me. I will help you. And this is good advertising, by the way. But too often, you see situation where an employer call you, and by the time they call you, it's way too late. And the only thing you could do is try to mitigate, but even in your mitigation, you know the employer can't win this matter. And sometimes you end up saying to the employer, one out of two things. It's either you eat this bitter pill down the road, or you pay this worker some good money and let this worker go. And even doing that sometimes, you may end up paying twice, because the employee might still take you to court. Right? Because, you know, sometimes some lawyers may tell the employer to do that, not understanding that the industrial court in Trinidad and Tobago don't necessarily don't look at common law and what most lawyers may think contract law and common law, and you know, they look at fairness. What was harsh and oppressive and contrary to good industrial relations practice. And if you are a practitioner, you'll be well aware of Section 10 of the Industrial Relations Act, and of course you should be guided by that. So you would see how the judges treat with matters like these at the court. The court is a senior court of records, and of course, if you're going to the court, the onus is on you as an employer to prove what you're saying. And if you can't prove it, or if what you're trying to prove is contrary to what the worker has in his or her possession, you have some questions to answer, and you will not appear as very credible. So I'm saying this is free advice today, and you would have heard what the issues are, you would have heard what the concerns are with respect to this kind of issue. And these are real. It's carnival time. People taking a lot of time off. People staying away from work. People unnecessarily. Sometimes you're fetting all night and then you have to go to work. And some employees are very, very irresponsible. Very irresponsible. As an employer, you need to know what you have to do. And to do that, you need to get professional help sometimes. So start calling, start investigating, start checking out people, and try to get a good human capital management professional, employment law professional, to come and put your house in order so that you will not have the problems that I'm hearing every day on the battlefield. Right? Sometimes your lawyer might try to do some things that may put you in more problems than you started off having. So I wanted to say that because, you know, as a professional, you see these things happening all the time, and it is of concern. And sometimes it's not just workers that are languishing, it's employers that are languishing. Let me tell you how the course work. When you, I'm not going to tell you my fees or my hourly rate, but hear what? When you end up with a problem and you do the wrong thing and you still try to fight it, you have to pay when you call a practitioner. Every time, every appearance, you have to pay for it. Sometimes $5,000 an appearance, sometimes less. But you have to pay every appearance. And sometimes the appearance could go into the tens of appearances before you even get to stand before 3 judges, for which in most cases you're going to lose because you do the wrong thing and you don't understand the principles. And the person before the court sometimes don't understand the principle, they write the wrong thing. Right? I'm saying that you need to get a professional to advise your HR on these things. And sometimes you're very ignorant, meaning you're very, you don't know. And you don't know you don't know. So you're thinking what you're doing is the right thing. You're thinking, well, I try to treat this worker fair, I give him a thing, and then I give him a letter saying that this is full and final settlement, and we are owing him nothing again. Well, it don't work like that. If you do something wrong and you give me a full and final settlement, I'll take it. But I'll still go to the court and make you pay more because you're trying to bamboozle my head with stupidness. I'm saying all of this to say that as employers, you need professional help. Your HR may be above, as good as they think, all the nice degrees they have, as good as they think, they may be above the head with certain issues, and you need to always have retained a professional to advise your HR behind the scene, because you'll make mistakes. And if you don't believe me, go and sit down in the court. It's free, you could just go and sit down in the industrial court. Go and sit down and listen to some of the matters coming before the court. Listen to some of the trials and see how wrong you are most of the time in trying to do certain things on your own. Right? So take my advice and call a professional when you, right? Take my advice and call a professional when you think, even when you think it is not necessary to do so. Retain one. Have one on your retainer to be able to assist you when you have difficult issues or issues that you think are not difficult, but that you think that you could handle by yourself. Right? So my number again is 382-4208. Call me anytime. 382-4208. Call me when if you as an employer you have these kind of problems. Call me and let me set you right. Let me put you in a place where you're insulated from some of these mad employees. Because sometimes they're taking advantage of you and they know they're taking advantage. Just like they say employers take advantage of employees, sometimes employees take advantage of you and they know they're taking advantage of you and they know you can't touch them because they know you know what you're doing. They know that. They know you don't know what you're doing. So call me 382-4208 anytime. Not now, on the show. The number to call if you want to join in this discussion is 342-0081 or 466-5391. Call me and let's have a discussion on this or any other discussion. we are always here to assist anytime, right? So you would have heard my narrative in this hour. I am here alone today, and I thought that I should share this with you. These are very, very important issues. These are issues that sometimes we need to discuss, because we think sometimes we think we paying a lot of money for HR. We have a whole HR team, but nobody on your team have the experience that they need to have. Sometimes they haven't been to court, or even if they went to court on a matter for you. They aren't able to understand all the issues involved in all the issues involved in the matter, right? And they operate by guess. Sometimes they operate, they might read a judgment and tell themselves, well, it's the same thing. And I always say that one shoe or one shoe doesn't fit all, you know. You have big foot, you have small foot, you have different sizes. And you have to understand that your situation may not be the same. Your situation may be a unique situation. And while it might look like another situation, might have elements in it that only a professional could tell you is different. And those minor elements, simple things. I mean, if you've been listening to the show, you would have heard us say time and time, we talk about all the different kind of termination, right? You have constructive dismissal. That's a difficult thing to prove in court, but there are certain elements that once they are there, you have no choice. You have no chance in court. You have summary dismissal. There are situations where summary dismissals might be applicable, right? Where the contract is repudiated and by virtue of a certain kind of behavior against the employer or fighting or certain things. But even with summary dismissal, there are certain things you should do at least. Then you have, well, in Trinidad and Tobago, we call it unfair dismissal, the kind that you have unfair dismissal and you have wrongful dismissal. Sometimes we use it interchangeably, but they are different. One is for the High Court, one would suffice in the Industrial Court, right, which is unfair dismissal. But most persons would prefer to go to the Industrial Court, because the Industrial Court, the matter is dealt with more conclusively, right, because it's an employment court. Then you have other kind of dismissals. You have a number of other dismissals, right? But the three main one would be unfair dismissal. Unfair dismissal is usually covered in a lot covers a whole lot of areas that sometimes you would, if you're not sure, you would say unfair dismissal, or a trade union would say unfair dismissal. But you have something called unilateral alteration or unilateral variation of your contract. That is another thing. That's another thing that could veer into a dismissal, but it wouldn't come to the court as a dismissal. So you have so many different things that happens, and this is for employees too, for workers too, because sometimes things are being done to workers and they just don't understand what they could do. They didn't seek a professional, they didn't call a professional, and sometimes it is difficult for them. They're going through some things. Sometimes an employer might be making it untenable for them to continue working by their action, and their action might be an action that breaches a terms and condition and that kind of thing, which would usually fall into the box of constructive dismissal, and they don't understand, or they're not too sure what to do or how to do it. And these things cause a lot of pain and distress in the workplace, sometimes with that employer, not knowing that if they go to a trade union and they go to a professional, they call a professional, they could be guided as to what they can do and how to do it, right? In constructive dismissal, we have something called last straw. right? As I was reading a judgment sometime which talks about, when we talk about constructive dismissal, sometimes you may think that you are constructively dismissed, but because the employer action has been taking place for years, and one day you just say, well, look, listen, I fed up with this, and you go to a union say constructive dismissal. That may not necessarily be constructive dismissal, because constructive dismissal usually is a dish served warm. So it means that if you're resigning under constructive dismissal, it must be for something that is happening now. If, of course, you have a last straw, something that has been happening, you've been talking about it, and there's been no action, and then you decide for whatever reason to something would have happened, whether it's minor or not, something happened, and that represented the last straw. Look, I can't take this again, I'm resigning, and claiming constructive dismissal. Yes, you may have a claim in a situation like that. All these things, both employer and employee must understand, must be able to navigate in the workplace. Because at the end of the day, what we want, what persons like me want, and what the nation needs is a highly productive workforce. And if you have disputes, or if you have people doing the wrong thing, or you have problems, you have bad employees. And when I say bad employees, you have employees who are disruptive, you have employees who are not productive, you have employees who are tardy with timekeeping, you have employees who you can't count on to be able to do certain things, you have employees whose general performance is just bad, then you cannot have the kind of productivity you are expecting. The country can't make the kind of money it should be making in taxes. You have all kind of ripple effects out of that, which is why it is so necessary for the government to address the Industrial Relations Act. This, to me, is a concern, and it should be a concern to every single employer and every single worker. Right? There are definitely good workers who would go to work and understand that a fair day's pay, a fair day's work, and go to work just to work and do what they're supposed to do, and try to do as diligently and work as hard as possible to create the best kind of productivity. And then there are employees who are just, they have the job already, and you can't tell them anything. I mean, everything you tell them is a problem. Everything you tell them, well, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm doing my job. And, sometimes frustrates the employer. But there are also things in the toolbox that the employer could know as how to deal with that. And the best workplace is a structured workplace, a workplace with right policies, a workplace with right guidance, a workplace with right, you heard us talk a lot about this around Christmas time, right engagement facilities and policies and engagement activities to make workers feel comfortable in the workplace, make workers feel as though they are part of the system, make workers feel as though they are appreciated. Because, I mean, a worker might be seeing you making all this money, and you treating me like poop, and you paying me like, poop. What you expect to get from that worker? Poop. Right? You expect to get distrust, hate, mismanagement, all kind of thing from that worker. Because, well, I'm saying this, but you might be expecting it, but that's what you'll be getting. Right? So at the end of the day, it's a give and take. The employer has to understand and value his capital, his human capital, and has to be able to manage it properly. Once you can do that, once you can represent what it means to be a good employer, you shouldn't have problems. Start right, and you will end right. The same thing with workers. Workers sometimes they get a job, and after the probation period, you start doing everything different, or you start, because you wasn't onboarded properly, the right set of people, the employer allowed the wrong set of people to onboard you. You get all kind of bad things about the employer. This place is a bad place to work. This place is toxic. This place, and you start yourself becoming toxic. And then what happens? Before long, we start having problems with it. We don't know what to do. We want to just send you home. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Some employers also is of the opinion that a probationary period is a period for which you could just send home an employee. Let me give you some news. Once you're working, once your contract started, and you have that offer, acceptance and consideration, you offer me a job, I take the job whether I had a probation or not, and I start working, and you're supposed to start measuring my performance. You're supposed to start training me. You're supposed to start doing all the things you need to do, because if you don't, and then you think, well, in your letter you say I had a 6 months probation and at the 6 months end and we don't like you, we just sending you home. No. That worker was a worker, had to be treated the same way like somebody who was working 20 years in the workplace. A probation is not for that. Probation is a time for both the employer and the employee to internalize the job, figure out whether this is your job for you and whether or not you want to stay. In the meanwhile, the employer, the job of the employer is to measure whether or not this person is the right fit for the organization. And to do that, you could use the same performance management system. You have something called a performance improvement plan, and that doesn't have to be no textbook, big elaborating. You identify things that the employee needs to fix or solve in the system, and you let them know, like, listen, you're working good, but you have a problem with this, and this, right? Try to fix this. I've given you 1 month to try to address these things, and if you can't address it, then we may have to either extend your probation, or we may have to take the decision to not offer you full-time employment. But all these things is necessary to know that. I've seen way too much times an employer would hire a worker, give them a probation, and two things employers do. During that probationary period, something they don't like about that worker. Something, they have a problem with that worker or something they don't like. And they decide that during that period, after this period, we ain't keeping this person, we sending home the person. And you get them a letter saying, well, the employer has looked at your performance, we don't necessarily like your performance, and we're sending you home because you was on probation, right? We can't offer you full-time employment. Well, news for you. What you were supposed to be doing as an employer is at least you should have given that worker in that 6 months or 3 months, you should have at least give them 3 performance appraisal. Because nobody go to school and learn to do what your particular environment or company requires of them. And therefore, that person has to be onboarded, that person has to be trained, that person has to get mentorship, coach into doing exactly what you want to do, how you want to do it. So you can't say, well, you make 6 months, we don't like how you're working and we're sending you home. You will end up in a dispute. If the employee knows that, listen, I am an employee just like everybody else, and you have to measure my performance the same way. And if after the second performance appraisal in the 6 months, you realize that this employee is not doing the job how you want them to do them, you let them know exactly what you need them to do and how you need them to do it. Once it conforms with the job description and everything that they would have had, you guide them, you give them a performance improvement plan. You could just simply write, this, I have a problem with your timekeeping, I have a problem with how you do this invoice, I have a problem with thing, XYZ, I will assign a coach and they will show you, and I'm giving you 1 month to address this situation. And probably between that time, you try to address it, you try to give them the coaching and see if there's a genuine weakness or if there is some kind of other problem, and you address it. But to say that after 3 months or 6 months, I just don't like how that employee looking, but I don't like how she is dressed to come to work. I don't like the friends she keeping on work. I don't like this, I don't like that. And you know something? And you saying this to yourself, eh? You know something? You see when that 6 months period, I sending she home. Right? That's the day. Well, if you do that, and that employee come to me, I'll make you feel sick. If you do that, I will make you feel sick. Because you cannot do that. You would have treated that worker in conditions that is harsh and oppressive and contrary to good industrial relations practice. And that is something that you should not do. Performance management is real. And that is a tool an employer could use to manage the performance of workers. It will work for you. And it will help you down the road. Use it. I am into 1 minute. I had no calls during this period. I'm into 1 minute and 41 seconds to the end of the show. I want to say that today we looked at, as usual, I tried to bring to you what is in the news. We looked at the state of the confidence in the police service, and I would say to the government or whoever is listening that is in charge, the Police Service Commission, that is something we have to address, because as a critical thinker, as somebody listening, as a law-abiding citizen, listening on and seeing what's going on, I'm feeling scared, and I'm also feeling sorry for the good police officers, because it's only the good police officers that will pay for this if we don't fix this confidence business in the police service. Good people, and you know, bad things happen when good people do nothing, right? And most of you will remember that story. Bad things happen when good people do nothing. When good people stand up and see bad things happening and say nothing or do nothing, bad things happen. And what we can easily move to is a state of anarchy with people, with the majority of people losing confidence in the state and the national security apparatus. I also would have touched a little bit about some issues that employers usually have. And once again, I invite you as an employer to call me on 382-4208, where we can discuss probably how I can help you in your workplace, solving some of the problems, productivity issues and others. We are now
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join us live on the Street 919 FM every second and fourth Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp the numbers 398-8282 or our office numbers 241-7568 and 310-8671. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our responsibility.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and enjoy a spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
Get ready for an explosive night of soca energy this carnival season. It's a massive one-night-only live concert in the Flavor Carnival Village at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, featuring the legendary Waterlord himself, the big man in the business. I Want George!
George. If Trinidad on fire, fire. Tobago on fire, fire. Trinidad on fire, fire. The people want water.
Celebrating 35 years of pure soca power, IWER is bringing all the classics, the latest heat, unstoppable energy, and jump-up madness that will leave you feeling it in your bones. Come out early to secure your spot at this epic event presented by the National Carnival Commission. Gates open at 6 p.m. and admission is completely free. No tickets needed, just bring your vibes. Expect non-stop energy. Get ready to run and enjoy that signature IWER magic. For updates, check out www.ttcarnival365.com or follow at ttcarnival365 on Instagram and Facebook. IWER George, live in concert for one night only. Queen's Park, Savannah. Be there.
Attention all fetters. This is a classified report. Army Fed is now operating under new protocols. Your mission is to assemble at the Queen's Park, Savannah on Friday, February 6th at 2100 hours.
Army Feds!
Be prepared for live band,
the biggest artists of VIP section,
and walk with your coolers well topped up.
It's the safest set in TNT.
And we've deployed major support to aid in your requests for FFUN.
Sure, yes, sir.
We've dispatched some of your preferred team members already,
and some new recruits as well.
Remember, fetters, should you or any of your troops be caught red-handed, Army Fet will disavow any knowledge of your actions. Army Fet, attention! Get your tickets now. Physical tickets, cachet nationwide. Bobby's Bar Curep, Smiles Bar Curep, Bats International Arena, The Lounge Fashion, Eastgate Mall, Bella Binella, Woodbrook, Toddlers to Teens, Mukarapa Road, Woodbrook, Richards, West Mall, Woodford Cafe, Price Plaza, Chaguanas, Larry's Fashion Labels, Sandy Grandy and Chaguanas, We Supermarket, Coquier and San Fernando, TT Lunch Kit, Palmy, San Fernando. Online at islandetickets.com. The Army Fed hotline is 687-6996.
Friday, February 6th.
Assemble for the biggest
and the safest Fet in TNT. Army Fet.
Soldiers at ease.
This week, the Review Tent continues home with Ladies' Night on Wednesday, 4th February. 2 persons on 1 ticket. Admission $350.
Then on Thursday, 5th and Friday, 6th February,
it's the Calypso Review Tent Stars on full display. Admission $200 with Sugar Aloes along with the Review Stars. Pink Panther, Skatey, Devon Steele, Singing Sonia, Michelle Henry, Mighty Diamond, Saint Nick, Nicole Grace, Maze, JD, Fire Tender, Sasha and Moses, Tempo,
Kurt Allen,
Nisa, Alana Sinette, Lackaman, Organizer,
Orlando Octave.
From Barbados, Mighty Gabby. Your MCs, Marcus Batiste, Tommy Joseph, and the Chairman. Tickets at the Review 10 box office, SWWGU Hall. This is your opportunity to experience the Calypso Review Tent. For info, call 797-5850.
With lots of giveaways.
This is what Calypso is all about. Showtime, 8 p.m. each night.
It's Classic Russo's final week for 2026. This is your last chance to experience the best tent show for the carnival. This Tuesday 3rd and Wednesday 4th February at City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Both shows 8 p.m. with a massive special of 3 persons on 1 ticket for $200, featuring their highly rated cast of performers: All-Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Twiggy, Dr. Will B, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco offices, New City Mall. This is your last chance to experience the best tent show for the carnival. Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso.
No man afraid, no stick man, no man afraid, no demand. The journey to becoming the king of the rock continues. Come feel the energy, chance, and witness the raw skill of stick fighting on Wednesday, February 4th from 7 p.m. All roads lead to Ojo Road Recreation Ground in Sandy Grandy. Come experience the passion and power as warriors clash in the National Stick Fighting Semi-Finals. Tickets are only $75. tickets. Get those tickets at the Grandstand Ticket Booth. Online at www.islandetickets.com. NCC office, Victoria Square in Port of Spain. Or you can also purchase tickets on site on the competition day. It's all going down. The National Stick Fighting Semifinals. Wednesday, February 4th from 7 p.m. Ojo Road, Recreation Ground in Sandy Grande. This event is brought to you by the National Carnival Commission and sponsored by Moccasin, Dasani, Forest Park Punch and Rum, Coca-Cola, Kaleidoscope, and Caribbean Airline. For more information,